Good evening, friends. This is a quick video that I would like to record, even though it is middle of the night. It was with regarding to some videos that I was watching on YouTube on spiritual channels who were advising on various things, and I have been watching these channels like Sacred Alignment, Spiritual Evolution, then Chosen, Grimm, and many others. And yesterday, I was informed by one of those channels that Archangel Michael will be visiting me. So watch carefully for what he is saying, what he has to say, and look at his eyes. He may appear as a form. Watch for his eyes. So after that video was over, I was waiting, and Archangel Michael did come. But he didn't come in the way that anyone would normally expect him, or as which was announced to me. But he left a message. He came as a rainbow in the sky, which had the Indian flag, orange, white, and green. I looked at that flag for a long time. It was not the usual rainbow which would appear with narrow colors, but this was sufficiently broad enough to look like a big piece of cloth with just these three colors. I smiled at the rainbow as Michael was bidding me goodbye. And then, after that, at night, I sat for a long time thinking about it. I couldn't sleep. In fact, till now I've not slept. So I was thinking on that, and I was not able to sleep in my own place. So I had gone to the drawing room, and then I came to the other room, and then I landed up at the kitchen a few moments ago. And then, just near the puja place at the altar in my kitchen, my father appeared, and I was surprised. In fact, I had been his vision was coming to me for quite some time, even since afternoon. But at that time, his face was a bit disturbed. But when he came, he was smiling, and he said, "How are you, Ma? How are you doing?" And I was a bit surprised. I said, Appa, why are you here? You should be in Pitraloka. You should not be here. And you should have taken birth by now. So I said, everything is going on fine here. You don't have to worry anything. And you please go back to Pitraloka, and you make arrangements to take birth in some place of your choice, wherever you want to be born again. So then he said, he just inquired, everything is okay, and very peacefully he went away. And then after that, I once again recollected the appearance of Archangel Michael in the sky in the form of the Indian flag, and that rainbow colors. It was there were no clouds. All of us, just that three colors were there, very clear, and it was the evening sky. And then I remembered that there seems to be a great misunderstanding. There's a big knowledge gap in spirituality, which is what Archangel Michael was telling me through his appearance as an Indian flag in the sky, and my father's appearance. This made me think about the interactions that was happening on YouTube, with me interacting mentally without a word, just in silence, and the narrator or the group or the team on the other side were responding to me as they understood or as they wanted me to respond. And it was all being happening energetically without a word, single word spoken. And everything was perfectly fine until yesterday evening, when there was a YouTube giving a big a list of their findings. a list of their findings on these exercise that has been taking place over the past few months. So in this connection, that's what made me make this video right now. Just that I would like to really clarify certain things. This knowledge gap. That's what Archangel Michael was actually trying to tell me, that by bringing the Indian flag, he was actually telling me, give them the real perspective. When my daddy appeared, of all people, and he had died last in 2024, absolutely a yogi's death. That is, he had pulled up the entire pranavayu and released it through whichever exit. So but there was not a drop of decay in the body for a whole 1.5 days, because he died the previous evening, and the next evening, because the crematorium, some procedural formalities were getting delayed, and so but then there was not even the saliva flowing from his mouth, and means it was so, his body was so clean, so pure. I was wondering, there was no way that he would land on the earth back again. There was it would be only by way of and the rituals that were followed after the death was also perfectly done. So much so, the priest, one of the priests who had done, actually had done the japa of Gayatri Mantra 1 crore times. Means that much eligible he had made himself to sit in that position. So there was no way. So here is where the knowledge gap in spirituality, particularly in the West, where spirituality is considered as a medium where you have an interaction between the people who have gone beyond, that is, gone to the other side after death, and connecting them and with the problems of the families or the people who are alive on earth, and that is spirituality. And then of course these angels are there, Michael, Gabriel, there are many, there are I think there are a whole lot of angels assigned different duties. Now these angels, they move to and fro between these realms or lokas, which we call in Sanskrit lokas, and communicate. Now this is not spirituality, this is interference with spirituality. So we need to get this straight. So I would like to bring a series of series on the subject in future. So this is just like my immediate message for those who wanted to communicate something yesterday, and they were trying to project what they felt onto poor Archangel Michael, and Archangel Michael had to tell me in this way only. He could never tell me he had this method of telling me, get some sense, get the facts clarified, because I do not know what they felt, because at many places in the course of this our interaction over the YouTube, I felt that I was speaking to a priest, a ministry from the ministry, and so I was saying father, but the monologue was going on and on and on without giving any space for me to talk to that person, and the person who was talking non-stop. And then on reflection, after Michael told me this, I realized that the person who was talking on a different frequency, on a different module altogether, and the person who was synchronizing these things, and the audience, the response of the audio, the people in that room was a different who was present, whose wavelengths whose vibrations were passing through the Wi-Fi onto me, was reaching me. and this person who was modulating and the person who was speaking, there was no coordinate. I was responding to the vibrations. I didn't know from whom it was coming, whether it was coming from the speaker's modulations or whether it was coming from the from this person who was mixing it all up, or the people. But ultimately I had to figure it out from that, and from finally now what I understand is that this is not spirituality. Do not try to. And then the whole script was AI generated. Whatever subject matter was being spoken, it was AI generated. And for all I know, that person's voice may also be AI generated. And the voice modulation also, you must have given a beautiful prompt. You have to slow down here, say fast here, or then say softly here. So you have a huge verbose script written, and you have detailed specific instructions, and the computer very obediently, the AI, this platform will give you a product, output. For all your input, you will get an output. So you gave me that output, and based on that output, I am trying to figure out what is it that you are trying to guess, and all in silence, remember. So in that silence, what I discovered was finally when you had to appeal to Archangel Michael to go and help her, or try to get something into her head, perhaps. So he realized there was really a knowledge gap in spiritual area, in the area of spirituality. So that's what I want to, so I will begin, because it's a big subject, so it will need several modules. So I will, several sessions. So we will look into that from tomorrow onwards. Jai Gajan.